And do the Facebook thing.
Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube.
Oh, okay.
You out here in these streets, player.
I guess I'm waiting for it to tell me, like, hey,
pretty much
somebody that you don't give a fuck about this is on live right now.
Actually, I'm gonna wait on that. Shooby doop, ow. Shooby doop, 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 ow.
For me, creativity starts with.
That is playing in the system. I'm about to say, nigga, hurry up before that shit go.
Well, no, that it took me a second. But nah, that was actually me playing, starting to play the stream. So no, that's what that was. That was a Twitch ad.
Oh, for sure.
It caught me.
Wait a minute. How come nobody has jacked that shit to make a beat out of it yet?
Oh my God, I don't know.
Or somebody has, but we haven't heard it. I guess that's the real thing.
Nigga. That shit got a more recognizable theme song than most of the Avengers, nigga. That shit is fucking hilarious. Oh, man. I gotta put that out as a clip, man.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's almost like, well, between that or it's almost like it needs a sound bite for that shit to come up in perfect situations where something gets to be really flirty and it's like.
For sure. Hey, consider it added to the board. Something gotta go. That's fucking amazing, dog. That just, that's great. All right, man, we'll go ahead and start the recording here. And a 3, and a 2, and... What up, though, my G's? Y'all should know what it is. It is BKA Watts, one half of the Blerds and Clips podcast, right here on the Pro 3 ENT Network, live as usual. You already know what it is. We are on Twitch. We are on Facebook, on YouTube. Yes, you can catch us live every Saturday when we do the show. I'm back. I done survived the COVID. I am here with my partner. I got my man all the way over to my left.
Yeah, motherfuckers, it's the award-winning Vigatron not having COVID. Let me stop saying that shit before it actually comes up. So, but I'm good.
Fantastic. And we got a special guest in the building.
Who are you?
I am Keith Collins, a filmmaker.
Keith Collins, the filmmaker. Make sure you're talking to that mic because we will straight roast your ass later.
We got to talk about you.
Talking about you not speaking into the mic.
And make sure everybody volume is up there good.
Right.
All right.
And then
because we definitely want you to be heard. Like everybody ain't used to, always being all out in front and everything. And I know you're kind of a low key guy, but we want to make sure you have some important things to say and share today. That's why you're here, because you're not a rapper trying to talk about your mixtape. So you're more than welcome to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Would not give a shit about. Yes, man. So y'all know what it is, man. It's Blerds and Clips, our TV, movie, video game, or whatever the hell else we feel like talking about podcast, because it's our goddamn show. Just understand that for the most part, we be covering that blerdiness and we banging on all things pop culture, clip walking out here in these streets. Y'all should know what's up. Yes, you can interact with us, so pull up and catch us live, like I said, on Twitch every Saturday. If you are an Amazon Prime subscriber, you can actually subscribe to our show, which pays and supports the show, and it don't cost you a damn thing, my G's. So make sure y'all pull up. Shout out to everybody in the chat. DJ Raven, my guy, what's popping, man? I appreciate you. I am feeling much better out here in these streets, and as y'all know, by in these streets, I mean at the goddamn house. So, with all that being said, as usual, we got a fire show lined up for you guys, because over the course of fucking 2 weeks of being sick and then 1 week of being back fucking healthy, I have watched everything, nigga. Everything.
Lies. I bet you didn't watch Barb and Star go to Vista Del Mar, did you?
I did not watch everything.
Exactly.
I watched most things.
Yeah, you sound like that chick talking about, oh yeah, I do anything. I'm a freak. Well, I don't do that.
Right. Whoa.
Not on the first date.
What's an ATM?
Take me out first. All right, anyway. I feel like I'm, yeah. You know what? No comment. I don't want to say where that's coming from.
All right, man. So, I'm going to ask the traditional question that niggas don't give a shit about. How were you guys' weeks? What's going on?
For some reason, I knew you were going to say that shit.
You shouldn't have.
Right. Like, yeah, nobody. You know what, Keith? Why don't you answer that while I think of a bullshit answer to get this motherfucker for whatever reason?
Yeah.
I mean, for me, it was great. I played God of War for the first time this week, the new God of War.
Okay. Hot shit.
Yeah, I love it so far. I love it.
Is that on all the systems?
No.
Damn it.
Just PS4 and 5?
Because I only have a Switch, and I'm not buying shit else. I'm not. I ain't gonna lie to niggas and act like I'm gonna go get another one of these fucking game systems.
Which mic is Keith on? On 3. Just want to make sure.
This one right here?
Yeah. He is on 3.
All right. Just want to make sure in case we have to boost you. That's all.
Okay.
All right.
Well, let's just goddamn boost them.
Yeah.
Booyah.
Just to be safe.
I'm gonna turn
just to be
myself
safe.
down a little bit,
Right.
And I feel like you're good too.
All right.
Right.
Because we up in there. All right, now.
All right.
So yes, we got a guest in the building, which is dope. That's always cool because we only bring dope guests into the goddamn show. Not rap niggas. Do not ask us to review your mixtape. It's not happening. Don't ask us to listen to your album. We do not want to hear track number 3 or number 7, player. I don't care if that's the one where you talk about your Gucci belt and your rims and how you were standing on the couch at Medusa. That is not for this show.
Damn. I was about to make a song with all of that shit, but okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, listen. And also, you did not invent the trap. You did not reinvigorate the trap. Nigga, you did not innovate the trap. I don't want to hear none of that shit. You are not a cocaine kingpin. All right. Now, with that being said, my G's, my week has been great because each day I've been able to walk a little bit further without feeling fucking tired. Nigga, after surviving the goddamn vid. Like I said, don't know which one I had. Might have had COVID-16, 17, I don't know. Might have had COVID-22, nigga. Who knows? But what I do know for a fucking fact is I was goddamn tired.
I feel it. And thank my stars and garters of being around this nigga even in the week previous or the day before.
Literally.
You started having your symptoms and I'm either one, what do they say, asymptomatic motherfucker or I did not get it. So thank you.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, in fact, yeah, he put us all at risk. He was in a room with like 6 other people and nobody came down with the shit but him. Wow. So I don't know what the fuck happened there.
Yeah, so nigga, again, like, and y'all are literally the last people I saw. Before that, I hadn't saw nobody since the previous fucking week when we was together. So, I low-key had to have got it from one of you niggas who must have been asymptomatic.
Like I said, I
or
don't think that,
fucking recently vaccinated.
Because
one of
like
the two.
I said, it couldn't be that strictly because of the fact that normally they say by the time you start having your symptoms, that's already days after you contracted. Yeah. So,
and that's the thing. Cause again, nigga, I be in the house.
You be in the house, but there had to be something that you did some days previous or the weekend previous that would have been most likely where you had gotten it.
Grocery shopping.
And then you didn't start showing your symptoms until that Sunday. But you wouldn't have been with us.
I fucking hate the grocery store.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have been with us on Saturday and then all of a sudden like you feel like shit on that Sunday. That's not how it works.
Yeah.
And they say it's like 7 to 14 days before symptoms.
Right. And that's what I'm saying. So like, nah, you ain't get it from us.
So perhaps
we're lucky not getting it from you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I guess so. Wow. Hey, nigga, all I know is that shit was kicking my ass, bruh. One day at a time and one symptom at a time. I'm very happy and fortunate that I'm not a nigga who had to battle off a bunch of symptoms at once. Like, this nigga's like, yo, I couldn't smell, I couldn't taste, I was coughing, I was sneezing, I was throwing up, I had the diarrheas. Like, yo, hold on, nigga. And that's what made me feel like I didn't have the shit because all of that never happened to me. Like, I could taste shit the whole time, just didn't have an appetite, so I didn't really want to fucking eat. Like, after like the 4th day, stopped eating. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just stopped eating. Was like, you know what? I'm tired of this shit. Managed to lose fucking 20 pounds. Jeez. So that was exciting. You know what I'm saying? Ladies, you don't need that waist trainer or Jenny Craig. All you gotta do is just go out here and get COVID. You know what I'm saying? Just go touch as many gas station pumps as you can. And you will shed the pounds like nobody's business.
That's if you don't die.
Oh yeah, for sure. So you know what I'm saying? Go massage the gas station pump and take a lot of vitamins.
The suggestions and opinions of Mark BKA Watts are not shared by everyone on the Blerds and Clips podcast.
Fine. I'm just saying. It's my testimonial. It worked for me. I look great in a pencil skirt. Okay.
Yeah. All right.
All right, bro. Let's talk about TV, movies, and video games, my G's.
TV, movies, and fucking video games.
Yep. Because fuck it, why not? Listen,
Well, yeah, we have to go all in since we got Keith here because he's a definitive fucking blurred outside of him. Well, yeah, only nerds movie making movies and shit anyway. Even though this motherfucker got. So yeah, I'm gonna ask my first question I never asked. So, what is it that you have your belts in martial arts wise?
Black belt, Kaji Kempo, Kempo.
Okay.
And that's it. That's my black belt.
So, what does your father have his in?
His is in Kempo, Ishinru, and he is actually on his way to being a grandmaster now. So, he studied multiple martial arts.
Flash? I'm fucking with you. Anyway, no, all right. Yeah. So he's on his way to being a grandmaster.
Yeah, he studied multiple martial arts, from like Krav Maga, Salat. He's my teacher. He's my sensei.
That's what I figured.
So
that's what I had to ask.
I had no choice but to learn.
I figured since you're obviously you're Keith Collins II, and I've seen video of you and your father.
Beats the crap out of me.
Yeah,
karate at each other.
I thought that was dope as fuck. So I mean, yeah, but yeah. So yeah, folks,
that's a true story.
You know, we have
every day of my life.
Keith Collins, the filmmaker, but also a motherfucker that can beat your motherfucking ass. So understand, if anything pops off, the best thing I can do is try to hold this nigga and hope that Watts works the body with his whack ass.
He's not gonna do it.
Yeah, just his fucked up stamina at this point. So he probably gonna get like 3 hits in and be like, nigga, I'm tired. So anyway, I'm sorry. That was unnecessary.
You know, I'm not doing nothing. especially the way that I do it, the way I've been tired with the goddamn, you know what I'm saying, nigga. If I gotta get up and do any quick activity, nigga, I gotta take a nap, nigga. Like, genuinely, for the past week, nigga, every time I do something even remotely strenuous, nigga, it's nap time. Like, bruh. Matter of fact, I took the garbage down the driveway to the front yard, nigga, and legit went to sleep for the night. And it was 7 p.m., nigga.
Wow.
Nigga, I came back in and I was breathing so hard. Like, when I got to the end of the driveway, I really contemplated, did I have to come back in the house? Like, nigga, do I really got to go all the way back up this path? And my driveway is not long.
Yeah, I feel you, and that's what definitely scares me because I mean, mind you, that I didn't have it, but I mean, I spent like seven days or maybe 8 days in the hospital before, and I know I was fucked up after that just from not having really walked around and everything, and it was just like, yeah, it was murderous. Wow. Just trying to walk around, but I mean, it's like it was kind of easier for me to come back from it, but it was like, yeah, it still was a thing where it was like, damn, I'm just walking around the floor of the hospital. And it was like on that last day or two, and I'm like, damn, this shouldn't be that damn strenuous. But when you're laid up that long, it's amazing how it fucks you up that serious or that easy.
Yeah. Shit was aggressive, bro. Can't even lie. What I did do was find one comfortable position, which was flat on my back, like I was in a fucking casket, which was low key horrifying, but the only way I could get comfortable. And finding out how many movies I could rent and purchase over the different streaming services, so I could still watch some shit to have some content to be able to talk about when we finally get back to these microphones.
Right.
So I watched a bunch of shit. Starting with Werewolves Within. Did you watch it?
No, I've had a life, my nigga. No.
Yeah, you're right.
Werewolves Within. Is that
the thing is, I only even know about the movie because of this nigga. He the one that suggested it on an episode.
I just didn't get a chance yet. I think I tried to download it, and maybe either I did or it was giving me trouble. But no, I didn't watch it yet. It's a movie. I'm trying to think because I can never think of dude's name. But he's like a black dude that plays in a bunch of comedies.
Yeah, he was also he was the black dude who wouldn't stop talking in fucking
the Tomorrow
War with Chris Pratt.
Did you watch that?
I haven't seen it yet, too. I haven't seen that yet.
Okay, so it basically dark skinned black dude.
He's like a sheriff, right? Like
yes.
Yeah. Okay. That's the. I want to see that. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I want to see it too. I just haven't watched it, but I told him, and he actually got the opportunity to watch it. I still haven't watched it yet.
I really need to watch it tomorrow morning.
Yeah, you would think I would probably try to do something with the rest of my day, but I'm sure the rest of the day is not gonna go my way. So that's what it is.
I ended up watching like Paper Tigers.
I put that in my list, but I have a ton of things in my list on Netflix that'll probably never get watched. So I don't know. Yeah. I just, we'll see. So I mean, you said it was okay from what you watched.
Yeah, it was cool. The title would suggest that they're, it would suggest that there's a scenario with werewolves, and that's not necessarily the case. Oh. So okay. I don't want to. Again, it's one of those things I don't want to spoil. But there's only one werewolf, and yeah.
Oh, because it's wolves.
Yeah, so you know what I'm saying? You're werewolves within. Like, oh shit, there are a bunch of people here, and some of them are potentially going to be werewolves. And that's, like I said, it doesn't happen like that.
Well, that is expensive to have multiple werewolves.
Apparently it's so expensive that these motherfuckers didn't even really want to have the one in there. So, with all that being said, it was okay. It was all right. It had some moments and some funny shit occurring. Cool little indie joint. It just didn't do anything like spectacular. It was all right though. I'm not mad that I watched it, and I think I paid like $6.99 for it. I'm also not mad that I paid $6.99. Fuck it. That's a matinee ticket.
Right, yeah. And that's what what's 40 divided by basically 7. So we're talking about what 4. No, my math is all off.
I'm trying to figure out what math you are doing.
Yeah,
nigga.
35. Okay, so 5. So that's like almost enough for the $40 head you normally pay for.
Oh, wait a minute.
All right.
No, the whole package is $40 actually.
That's what I'm saying. Almost. It's like you paid 5 times the amount that you would almost get your normal $40 holler. But anyway,
that's funny. No, that joint was cool. So I watched that. I finished up season 8 of The Blacklist. We still don't know who Reddington is for a fact. So there was that.
Yeah, we still don't know who Reddington is at all, my nigga.
Bruh.
I don't know what the fuck you talking about.
Oh, bruh, you ain't never watched Blacklist?
No, it's in my list, and nigga, I ain't got enough time.
It's in your Blacklist?
No, it's in my Netflix list. But I mean, again, there ain't enough hours in the day to watch all this shit. I'm being selective nowadays.
It does. It has its moments where it wanes the further they get into it, maybe 4th, 5th season, some shit like that. But the concept in itself is fire out the gate, though.
So you said I didn't even watch the first episode yet.
That's all you got to do, man, and then you're gonna be in there.
Yeah, I don't know. Everybody says that, and I've tried other stuff recently, and I'm like, yeah, no.
Mr. the Second, have you seen The Blacklist?
Now, just gotta make sure. Now, what is the blacklist?
Oh shit, that means no.
Right. It's basically a show starring James Spader that used to be on.
I saw the first episode.
Okay,
That's all I seen. The first episode.
For sure. Yeah, well, yeah.
So how come you didn't watch more, Keith?
I have this problem where I watch a show and I'll be like, "Boy, this is good." Now I'll plan on watching the next episode and I'd like move on to another thing. I just have really bad ADD when it comes to shows.
Okay, but I mean, according to him, that ain't what's supposed to happen.
That's part of the reason I binge watch things. Because when I first watched it, I want to say, what was it? Was that on ABC or NBC? I can't remember.
One of them.
It was on one of those. That's when I first saw it.
Wait,
I was like, oh,
which one got the
show.
peacock?
NBC.
It's on that
So
one.
it was on that one. So yeah, that's when I first tried to watch it, and then the next week I forgot, and I never went back.
Right.
Okay. Lav has also not watched The Blacklist. Man, what's wrong with you? I don't believe y'all, man. The Blacklist is such a good show, man.
It's all relative. You was the same motherfucker that had never watched Arrested Development before either.
But now I have. I watched mad Arrested Development.
Right. And even still, when I was talking to you even about Community and I started over again, and I really realized my assessment of Community is that, and I heard Dan Harmon talk about this, was that it really did start to become something different toward the end of the first season. And then like second season on, it took on a different life of its own from the way it started. Like the way it started almost seemed like it was like more traditional sitcom-y.
It was.
But then it became the thing that really made it famous starting like in season 2. So if you haven't made it that far, I thought about me rewatching it and me trying to introduce you to it. It's like if it was hard for you to kind of get into, it's not to say that you have to make it through that first season, but toward the end of the first season is where it starts to get really more insane.
It becomes signature.
Right. And then it's like, yo, this is what Community is about. But it didn't start out that way. And I had to start it again just after telling you just to finally realize that. Yeah, Community. Even though I liked it from the beginning.
Community is a good show. I enjoy Community.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it except for season 5. Like I said, that's the only one that I didn't laugh at.
Yeah. I mean, I've enjoyed it to the point so far that I watched it. I'm like halfway through season 1.
It gets better as you're going
on. You get past season, like when you get close to the end of season 1 and on, it's really good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because like hilarious. I said, Dan Harmon talking, I watched some, like he had a Q&A and he was talking about how they were doing it and how they were just really filling things out, and then they started tweaking stuff, and then it became actually that much better.
I mean, this shouldn't spoil anything yet. When does the paintball episode happen?
The first one is at the end of season 1.
Okay.
Because it's the first one that is basically like the parody of Die Hard.
Right. I want to say by the paintball, that episode.
Yeah.
It becomes that.
First paintball episode is that. Actually, yeah. I want me rewatching it. The first paintball episode, kind of that I mentioned, that's the one that Justin Lin directed. But in season 2 is where they had the 2-parter paintball episodes, and those were the ones that the Russos directed that got them Winter Soldier.
Yeah, it's a war. It's really good.
Right. So, like I said, outside of that, though, like I said, it becomes some insane shit after that point, and that's where, like I said, just like he said, it becomes kind of signature. So, trust me, if you stick with it, it gets better. Because they start tweaking characters to a point where you're just like, oh, you get it. Like the Britta that you see at the very beginning is not the Britta that it eventually becomes. And they make mention of this in later seasons where it's like, yeah, like I thought you were this, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. But you have to watch it
for sure.
Trust.
I'm definitely I'm gonna continue watching that joint. I'm trying to think what else if there's anything else that I particularly wanted to cover. I watched Suicide Squad again. Still didn't like it.
I watched Suicide Squad. I actually enjoyed it. I'm not gonna lie.
Like I said, just
I looked at it more like on the side of like Deadpool and not like other comic book movies.
I'm happy I didn't look at it like Deadpool because I would probably really hate that shit.
Yeah. You didn't like Deadpool.
No, I loved Deadpool.
No, that's what he's saying. He loved it.
This ain't good.
I mean, I thought it was funny and it didn't take itself seriously, so I appreciate it.
I was cool with it. Like I said, he didn't really like it like that. I didn't love it, but I was completely fine with it all the way through, and I have kind of watched it since then. Like I said, it's one of those things again, like I said, where I downloaded it and I had it playing in the background, and I definitely liked it.
Yeah.
And probably third act, I'm like kind of iffy on certain spots or whatever. But again, it wasn't enough to make me dislike anything
I have
about
to
it.
ask though, because I watched the episode where you said you didn't like it. What didn't you like about it the second time?
Everything that I didn't like about it the first time. It made it even more frustrating. I felt like they let James Gunn do whatever the fuck he wanted, and he did whatever the fuck he wanted. Sometimes that really works, and sometimes it's just, I guess. And again, very briefly, I felt like it really kicked off exactly the same as the first one for me. I felt like.
It did.
I knew we were gonna have some disposable characters, but we only really had like two that like they just killed, one or two in the beginning of the first one that they killed to do it, and it was like this one was like, yo, let's do that, but with like 5 or 6 characters instead, and it was like, oh fucking K, that doesn't make it better to me. It just that was okay as fuck, and then of course I hate when I see shit that just blatantly doesn't fucking make sense, like how the Pete Davidson character was like, hey, I'm the one who contacted you guys. How? The Suicide Squad is never told what they're doing. They just get dropped into a place and have to go do what they have to do once they get there. So how did he know who the fuck to contact? How did he know where they were going? And there was an ambush set up for the second team to be able to go and do what they were going to do. So did Amanda Waller set that shit up? Like, it just, I find myself with questions, and it's like, that's just stupid. And we're supposed to just say, okay. And I don't like it because it's obvious, blatant shit that you can just, there are simple fixes for.
Wow.
In the movie about superheroes and villains.
I know.
The way you feel about that movie is how I felt about Zack Snyder's Army of the Dead or whatever on the Netflix.
Oh my God. Yes. Same thing. Same thing. There was a lot of shit that just didn't make sense that could have had simple fixes with minor changes that would have made the shit make sense.
What I was telling somebody about that movie, I said that movie is actually a sequel to a movie that was never made.
For sure.
It's like everything. There's all these cues that are there, but you're like, well, what does that mean? And because that movie has never been made.
Right.
So it's a weird sequel before an actual movie.
Yeah, like I said, look, the Harley Wick scene when the bitch was just destroying trained military soldiers and shit
in the castle or
barehanded and shit, just massacring niggas, a whole fucking cleared a whole building full of motherfuckers. Like, no,
I think that's because she's
a star,
right? But that's
what
I'm saying.
Nope.
Like, you act like if
She
John
ain't never
Wick
been that
does the
sweet
shit,
with
it's acceptable. But fucking
because they
John
call
Wick
that
is supposed to be
nigga
a
Baba
killer.
Yaga,
Yeah,
nigga. Like he's the man,
but
nigga.
I'll give what I say to her credit for that. I guess she's supposed to be crazy.
In the comments, hated it.
I was going to go over that in a minute. Yeah, that's the homie Ken talking about he hated it, which I'm very disappointed that you said that. But anyway, so yeah, like I said, I want to straight change your name to NPA Watts, like nigga, nitpicking ass Watts.
That's fine.
Swear to God,
that's fine.
Like it just doesn't make any sense. Like you make exception to certain shit, and I'm like, why? Like, bro,
I don't know, bro. Like, listen, you gotta have enough good elements around your bullshit for me to suspend my disbelief on it.
I don't know. I mean, I think for me, the suspension of disbelief comes as soon as they say it's a comic book movie.
I feel you.
Like,
exactly.
I think I'm just like,
but that's just so whack because we get comic book movies that do have good stories with solid through lines that actually get us from the beginning to the end. So when we get the ones that don't, it's just like, nigga, you could have done better.
I found it enjoyable.
I'm not saying that I didn't enjoy moments, for sure. I definitely enjoyed moments, but there was just some shit that was just like, no, nigga. No, I'm not buying John Wick, Harley Quinn. I'm not buying Bloodsport happening to land in a perfect spot to fall through 17 floors of a crumbling building to specifically stop directly in front of the moment that he needs to stop in front of. Like, no!
But I feel like that's what makes it a comic book movie.
Exactly. This shit happens all the time, and this motherfucker want to make a big deal about that.
They're fighting a giant one-eyed star.
Which was whack, too.
But that's a comic book. That's comic book right there. That's what a comic book is. Like, him falling at that moment is ridiculous, and that's what it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be ridiculous.
For sure. Definitely. But look, and that's not even the thing that I even mentioned the first time around, because it was just like, whatever. I mean, it led to it gave us a solid, dope moment. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool.
I'll say this. The only thing I was disappointed in was the fact that Polka Dot Man was not used more.
Low key, because he was fucking dope.
Yeah. I think
He
that
actually was dope.
Underutilized.
And I feel like Weasel was absolutely fucking useless and worthless. And I feel like that nigga specifically mushed that in there just to put his brother in a mocap suit to get him a check.
Well, I mean, he also had a role where he wasn't in the mocap suit, so I mean, he was going to get it anyway.
Huh?
He was in the prison. He was the one that,
Yeah.
I think it was Polka Dot Man that he called him a pussy or something like that. So I mean, it is what it is. He's going to work with his people. So I mean, again,
Hey, I get it.
It was a throwaway joke, but again, how does that fuck with you that bad when you watch so much other shit that does the exact same thing? Turn your fucking brain off, bro.
I don't know. So
God
it's
damn.
just like I said, going into some shit, my brain just deactivate.
I can get
Some
it.
shit I walk into it and it be like, all right, nigga, I want this to be great, and then it just not, and I'm like,
And you wanted this to be great.
I did want this bitch to be great. Like I said, and again, I feel like it was better than the first one, but again,
My expectations.
the first one to the second one, like I said, starring two sharpshooter black guys who don't want to be on the team, but kind of get forced into a leadership role, and they do the same fucking thing, and they both only did it because of their kid, and like I said, it just all felt like the same movie. James Gunn was like, I'm just gonna make the same movie better, and I'm like, fuck you, nigga, no. Make a different movie. Like, make a different good movie.
I liked it. It was rated R too.
So y'all like Starro more than y'all like Enchantress? Because I feel like they're almost fucking equal.
Okay.
Man, get the fuck out of here. You are wilding. You are fucking wilding. You gonna say Starro?
Enchantress plus a Starbeam, Starro plus a army of standers.
But they basically still, it's Starro being a kaiju, in essence, still fucking shit up on its own.
Yeah,
and you're going to compare
Fucking
that
up
to
a city of people who
The
he's
only
already
thing I
murdered
did-
by starfish in
but
their faces.
It doesn't matter. It's still the whole point that you're going to actually compare fucking voodoo ass
The pop lock.
Enchantress to pop locking ass Enchantress.
I will.
To fucking
and
Starro.
To Enchantress's thing that I did like was the transformation. I think that the transformation.
Yo, listen.
That's the only thing we talk about on that shit. Like, yeah, that was dope.
But here's the thing.
So fired.
I honestly believe that had they went a different route with the first one instead of making it serious and PG-13, like for instance, I mean having Enchantress, if they would have sort of went horror action
right.
and went that route, it might have been a better movie.
Facts.
It could have been, but I mean, again, if we're gonna assume,
I feel like the
David Ayer's
incorporation
right,
of like the Enchantress like brother character was stupid.
well, I think a lot of that was, but I mean, if we're gonna go by David Ayer's word, I mean, WB's,
Well,
tinkering.
are they gonna make a David Ayers?
The Ayer cut? No,
Yeah.
people were definitely talking about it.
'cause
Though.
I think,
People were
I think they
asking
kept
for it.
talking about it. Yeah, they kept asking for it, but yeah, I don't think it's gonna happen because they're feeling like it opens that door up where everybody
Well,
can
they
just
did it with
bitch and
David
complain.
Snyder,
See, the Zack Snyder thing was
or the
a
Zack
little.
Snyder, I should say. Sorry.
It was a little bit different. Yeah, well, I know you're thinking David
Yeah.
Snyder from here.
Yeah.
I got you.
Right.
But I mean, it's slightly different just in the sense that there was some legitimacy to the fact that he couldn't finish his film, and with everything else that was going on, I could see them making that.
Okay.
But it's like the David Ayer cut. It's like, all right, you're given the opportunity, and they decided to change stuff specifically based on whatever company I forgot that they gave the trailer to, and they made that trailer a certain way where it's like, oh, now you have to match what's there in that trailer.
I've never seen a movie that actually matched this trailer. If you really go back to a lot of trailers, there's scenes in trailers that aren't even in the movie.
This is true, but I think it was, even when I first saw that first trailer, I was anticipating more from it than what actually happened. So that's
Instead
the whole
of it
thing.
being the typical
Right.
Avengers, run to the center of the city.
Yeah, that's why I was so disappointed when I saw it, because it did look that much more exciting. So, I get their idea of saying the people responded to this, make it more like this, and they kind of took that away from him. I don't know that his version would have necessarily been better. It could have been. Who knows? But nonetheless, the fact that that was a realistic situation. I mean, you kind of can't, avoid that. So I mean, it ended up being what it was. But
I hope they'll get a cut down the line and just to sort of see.
We'll see. We'll see. And I mean, for them,
was there not a cut on the digital release?
No.
Oh shit!
Hell no.
Did they stop doing that? I feel like I don't remember the last time. I mean, like director's cuts aren't really like a.
They used to be a hot thing.
Yeah, it used to be, but no, they did not give David Ayer one. Think about it. If it was out, we would have seen it and made our opinions about it.
They did that with Batman versus Superman when they put it out on Blu-ray. They gave
right, and that's the one.
You know what? They keep doing it to Zack Snyder because he did the same thing with fucking Watchmen.
Right, but I mean, even though Suicide Squad was not a flop because it still did well.
Wait, the original or the new one?
The original.
Oh, I'm about to say, nigga, yeah, no, it actually made money. This new one though, oh my god, nigga.
No, I feel you, but you notice I didn't say the.
Right, you're right. Damn it, that's frustrating as fuck. Okay, so listen, hold on. Okay, so box office nerd shit real quick. Suicide Squad drops. Opens up to a disappointing ass 20+ million and shit. Not does what it was supposed to do, not even close to it, my G's. Then they say, all right, maybe it'll have legs. The shit is getting amazing reviews, has fantastic word of mouth. Everybody is talking about how great it is, but of course, WB shot themselves in the fucking foot with this whole day and date plan to drop shit on HBO Max to make it so niggas can just sit the fuck at home and watch it. And then of course, that's putting out an exact perfect crispy version for niggas to pirate and use however the fuck else they're going to, which they did. So this shit suffered the largest fucking drop from first week to second week, nigga, of any major blockbuster damn near ever, my nigga. This shit suffered a 71% drop from weekend 1 to weekend 2. Typically, you want to see something that's in the realm of around 50% from week 1 to week 2, but this shit dropped over 70, my nigga. And it dropped another dramatic ass percent into the third week. So that shit is absolutely not making its money back, not even in the fucking slightest. They are not giving us HBO Max numbers, so we don't really know what that shit is doing. But by comparison, something like Free Guy dropped and does 30 fucking plus million and then has a 30% drop from weekend 1 to weekend 2 with no digital availability, theater only. That bitch is running legs and has already got greenlit for a second movie to go into production.
Yeah, but again, I wouldn't compare that to, because again, just like you said, it's still completely different. You have Free Guy where you only can see it in the theater, so it's not quite the same when it's not going to have a bigger drop, because if you want to go see it, you're going to have to go to the theater to actually see it, versus Suicide Squad, like me and you saw it at the theater, or I'm sorry, the Suicide Squad, even though we saw both of them in the theater.
This is true.
The fact that it's going to be totally different if we're going to do that and then say, well, you know what? I already saw it in the theater. I don't need to leave the house again to see it again. That's going to be a lot of people's mentality. I didn't go see it the first week, but here it is. Yes. It's there on TV. I ain't got to leave the house. So yeah, you're just going to do that.
And the numbers are probably, I mean, they're not speaking of those numbers, but I'm pretty sure they're good.
They're probably good.
Numbers are probably ridiculous.
But the streaming numbers for them do them no good because they're not charging a premium.
It does the actors no good. I'm sure Warner Brothers is like, they're banking.
Well, the whole thing is they're banking by still having releases coming up for people to stay subscribed to HBO Max. But again, there's no shit. I mean, it's just about the same as everything else, like $12. But again, there's no additional premium. So no matter what I choose to watch on there, every time I choose to go watch whatever it is, there's no ads for it or any of that particular shit. So they're not making a specific amount of money because I chose to watch something that's just already sitting on the service. That's what I mean. So they may be happy to see that people watched it, but it ain't make them no money. By comparison, like a Black Widow charging a $30 premium for that shit on top of getting their whatever the service fee is for people who are already subscribed. So you already have to be paying them money to be in Disney Plus in the first place. Right. Then you also got to pay the premium on top of it.
Right.
So, there's money there. By comparison, there's not an additional money being made for Warner Brothers having them shits on the streaming service.
Not off topic, but I want to do this because I do appreciate, like I said, it is fun when we're in here and people are actually listening. So I do want to shout out to anybody that was there. So shout out to Josh Manis. Angie gave us the big hearts and shit. So, we love Angie.
Because she loves us and we love her back.
Absolutely. Then shout out to DJ Raven. Everything time. And Then Some podcast, part of the Pro 3
ENT Network. Y'all know what it is.
All of that shit.
My boy Retro Gerald in this joint.
Well, that's what I was going to get to. I'm going to get to him because he said something I'm going to address as well. So Squirrel 93, just the homie Ken, also watching, and Retro Jetro. So he makes the point of talking about, we live in a world where people steal your children. Why didn't they think it was going to get pirated? So this is my thing about that. Absolutely, when this whole thing about the digital stuff going streaming and otherwise, where it's so much easier for them to screen capture and put high quality bootlegs out to be able to be downloaded. I am completely guilty of paying my money to go see The Suicide Squad, and then I downloaded it that same weekend.
But that's my thing. But why would you download it and you have HBO Max?
Because, again, it's different for me to be able to watch it off of a thumb drive than it is for me to watch it on HBO. If I'm watching on HBO, I have to let it stream. If I'm watching it when I download it, I put it in a folder with a bunch of other DCEU movies, and I'm just playing all them shits. It's different. It's way more convenient because I don't have to keep loading something up every time.
I feel you.
That's why. That's strictly why I do that.
See, like, again, we had some of this conversation off mic.
He's absolutely right.
I own.
yes. HBO interface is not the best. Absolutely.
Oh no,
yes.
and it's crazy because people keep complaining about how HBO be crashing, which I haven't experienced. But again, I am also a physical media nigga. Behind us on these shelves are mad DVDs. I have a stack of DVDs and Blu-rays on the shelf over there. I actually have like 30 DVDs stuck to the wall on the other side of the room. So it's like, that's just what, I mean, I get it. I get it because I physically go buy these bitches. There's no disk drive on my laptop. I can't throw one of them joints in here. I actually only have one device in the entire house that I can put a physical fucking disc into. And yeah.
Just because somebody's whack ass don't have PlayStations.
Yeah.
If they had a PlayStation, they would have the option of physical disc.
That would be the
they
most.
Could use a thumb drive to watch downloaded movies.
Yo, listen. The thing is, that would be
that
would be the most expensive DVD player.
It's not really. You can have a PS3. I watch a lot of my shit on PS3.
What I'm saying is, a used PS3 is still gonna cost more than a DVD player. That's all I'm saying.
It has more function though.
Yeah, but am I gonna use it?
Well, maybe, but you got to look at it this way. Both of my PlayStations 3 and 4 always hooked up. I usually bounce back and forth between them. The only major difference between my 4, obviously, other than newer games, is that I have to watch Disney or HBO Max on my 4. Yeah. On my 3, I can still watch YouTube, Hulu, Netflix, all of that. All accounts still. I do not watch. Well, okay, hold up. I will, from time to time, use the internet browser on my PS4 to actually go on and watch porn. Generally, I do not. You can do it on your PS3, but it's way worse. So I don't even bother. But seriously, with both of them having their USB drives, it's easy to just plug in my USB drive and I can watch whatever I want on there. Plus I have access to streaming. Plus I can play any games, all of that. So they are super useful. I've had to explain this shit to my mama where I'm telling her, I'm like, yeah, it's not like back in the day. This ain't just a Nintendo where all it does is make games. Like all of my entertainment shit comes from like one of those 2 boxes.
It's an entertainment
yes.
hub. It's
Entertainment hub.
Yeah.
Okay. Retro Gerald would tear the hub up.
Yeah. I'd definitely be tearing that hub up.
Tear the hub up. Oh my God, nigga, that's a banger, bro.
Wow.
My PS4 definitely pregnant.
Oh my God.
Oh shit.
Hey,
it's all bad.
That's how you get it popping, my G's. Okay, so yeah, now speaking of box office time and mentioning Free Guy, I did catch that joint up, man. Hold on, wait. I'm destroying my own point. Don't advocate physical media and not go the whole way with the device. Okay, listen.
Facts, Ken.
Listen. I'm saying I have an HP laptop that I got in 2012. That's what I use because it has a DVD player and burner in it, as well as obviously a CD burner then, and it plays Blu-rays. So that's what I use for my physical media with an HDMI cord connected to my obnoxious ass TV. So that's the only thing that I have to play physical media on though. And it's just like, I don't have shit. I can't just go all over I mean, I guess I technically could. It's a fucking laptop. I could walk all over the house with it, but it's just not like you used to have a player in every room. Wherever you had a TV, you had something to play your physical media shit in. And it's just not a thing so much anymore.
Ken, talk to these niggas. So that's here's also where you're feeling. So just like you were talking about the PlayStation, you don't have to get a PlayStation. So even in my mother's case, we basically ended up getting her. I ended up getting her a Blu-ray player that also has at least one USB port, and it also has the streaming services on it, with the exception of a couple. It was like a Samsung one. I got her a Samsung one, and I think I got her some other brand at one point.
Like $70. Right?
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So it was the fact that you could buy that in the same way where you're able to watch stuff on a thumb drive. You can play Blu-ray, you can play DVD, you can have your Hulu, your Netflix, whatever, all of that on it at the same time. And it doesn't cost you a couple of $100 the way you're talking about with a PlayStation. So that also could have been an option. How come that never occurred to you to do that as a possibility?
Just because, honestly, at this point, so many of the joints that I have are available on some streaming service that I just don't have to do any of the additional work other than search and find it.
I feel you, but just like me and Keith were talking earlier, the other good thing about still, in your case, like you should say, you have physical media, you have your DVDs behind you, all that shit. Like I said,
like them bitches is low key a backup. If everything else.
That's my point. That's what I was going with it, because again, you're having your reliance on the idea that internet is on and that things are not going to be crashing. And kind of just like to go back to the point of saying, like, having HBO Max crash. I definitely was having it crash a bunch of times, like a month or so ago. Every time I would watch something, it would seem to crash after every episode. Like if I was watching Justice League or some shit and I wake up and it stopped again, like why the fuck does it keep stopping? Now apparently they obviously updated and stopped doing that, because like just like last night I went to sleep with Venture Brothers on, it never stopped the entire time. So, but it's had its moments. So that's what I'm saying. When I download as well to have it on there, I don't have to worry about that. As long as I got electricity, I'm cool. Yeah. That's all I'm looking at it as.
Pretty much.
It's convenient as hell. It's all about convenience for me.
Retro Gerald says he has a question. Feel free to fire that off, my G.
3 inches.
27.
Okay.
It's more than likely, you know. Why are we always talking about having DVD players and streaming and internet?
I don't fully understand that question.
Yeah, I don't. But we never buy generators.
Yeah, that's a pretty good. Well,
yeah, because none of that shit matter if the power go out.
Well, here's the thing. I live in an apartment, so that ain't even an option for me. Like in my father's house, or my stepmother's house, I should say. My father's dead, but they did have a generator.
That's still your daddy's house.
Well, yeah. Well, it was actually her house for it. He moved in with her, so I want to be respectful. That's her house,
for sure.
So at the same time, they did get a generator, and used to always talk that shit like, man, the power go out, we cool up here. All right, power never went out. So, all right,
yeah. I mean, nigga, that shit is like, that shit is definitely life insurance, nigga. It's like, what I'm saying, like.
So I would say if I had a house, yeah, that would be an option. That makes sense.
You only have so many hours. Too,
right. Plus, also, we're talking nerd blurred shit. I have tons of fucking comic books and everything. So as long as I can make fire, I have something to read. It really comes down to that too. So
Yeah, I got mad. Yeah, I mean, same shit. I'm definitely gonna smoke the battery on my phone and still fuck around and bullshit. But like once that's over with, yeah, it's comics in this whole. I got mad old games and other cool shit. I got Taboo in this bitch, nigga. We gonna get the family game night popping. Something is gonna happen around this motherfucker. It's still gonna be some activities occurring, or I'm just gonna sit down and fucking draw for hours on end because, artist. And I could just do that and create some shit. So write. I could even write rhymes.
I hate this old Renaissance ass nigga. This nigga draw, rap, host, do magic.
I also could practice magic. I could be practicing magic. I got how many nigga? I got at least 20 decks of cards over there that I've not even opened yet, and even just seen what they like. Because collectible. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because limited edition and shit like that. So yeah, I don't know. Niggas don't necessarily need electricity, to still be getting it popping and kicking it and shit. Niggas could actually go outside and experience sun.
Well, if you don't have electricity, ain't gonna be none of that boom, 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 boom.
Facts.
None of that.
Like I said, that's probably what I'm smoking my battery on. The last bit of this battery gonna go to fucking, BBWs, nigga, something obnoxious on the category side. Nigga said the internet go out, the kids start melting down. Nigga, if the internet go out, that's the first thing that happened. Nigga, kids start having panic attacks. Nigga.
I can't relate to that shit. That shows how old school I am because I'm like, God damn it. And I remember that when I was with my ex, and it was just that whole thing of like, she'd be planning shit with them every weekend. And I'm like, why in the fuck are they not outside? Like, I just didn't understand that. Like, when I grew up, I had friends on the street, and we were always outside riding our bikes or doing some dumb shit. And mind you, this was still during the days of us having Nintendo and all kinds of shit, so we didn't have internet, but we had shit we could be doing in the house, so we did that from time to time. But it was always a thing of we were outside, and I'm like, why the fuck are these kids always in the house, and or you're planning on doing stuff with them, like going places?
Because technology.
Yeah,
they on. I see them.
Nigga, technology has deleted outside. Nigga,
they hang with their friends digitally, FaceTime.
And that was the messed up part. Her kids weren't even doing that because a couple of them were too young at the time. And so that's still like, I just don't understand. I understand it, but it's the gift and the curse of just ruining so many things. So like, your kids can't even function on doing normal shit of having friends on the street and hanging with their friends on the street and playing.
No, nigga, that's the wild shit. It's like, nigga, like there's kids next door, literally next door, right? The house next door, they got like 3-4 kids. Like these little niggas be on their phones in their respective houses, like doing TikToks together and shit and dances and choreography, nigga. And it's like, if I took the phone away or like the internet was gone, it's like, how am I supposed to play with my friends now? They're next door, nigga. Like, what is going on? Like, I'm so confused. Like, nigga, feeling like you are so far from your friends and you just have no way to communicate with them, nigga. Like, and they're like, nigga, like kids used to fucking put 2 cans and a piece of string between their houses, nigga. Like, goddamn, like these little niggas won't interact.
Right.
Wow.
Outside is just outside ain't a thing no more.
Yeah, it's a damn shame.
Crazy, bruh. Wow. I don't think I've ever told my daughter she smelled like outside, and I'm disappointed as a parent.
Like, it's like our future is becoming a mix between like Demolition Man, where they were like straight pussyfied, and like Idiocracy, where everybody's just dumb as fuck at the same time. Like, it's terrible. I'm glad I didn't produce any offspring like you two motherfuckers did.
Hey man, it should be happening. You know what I'm saying? Because you gotta hit the shout out to
on her belly.
You're right. You know what I'm saying? Nigga. Okay, so
I used to love that shit, my nigga. God damn it, I want to say Richard Schiff, but I feel like I'm fucking his name up. But yeah, his most famous line or most funniest line to me was like, "Yeah, those aren't tears on your belly, baby." Like,
hey man, shout out to Retro Gerald for cheering 100 bits one time. I have absolutely no fucking clue what that means. Some more of that shit that this nigga still got to pull up on me and tell me about, because, you know, how do you use Twitch? Shit, so Vig, you got anything else for Keith? Because I know you said you had questions.
Well, that was my main question, was just actually knowing what he was actually skilled in as far as his martial arts. Because, I mean, like I said, if he decided to just go off, only thing we could do is try to hold this nigga and be like, Pearl, get the blankie. But yeah, I mean, I really wanted to know that specifically, like I said, because I just never asked him because it's obvious that he was legit in his martial arts, so I just didn't know what he actually studied.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But, I mean, outside of that, I mean, we can kind of take a chance to segue into that. So because of the fact that you're a martial artist and you decided to, what made you decide to start making films?
Man, I've always wanted to make films since I was a kid. I mean, because that was the only way I could get the things out of my head out.
I feel it. I feel it.
Because I was drawing, I was doing things, but it was like I wanted more. I wanted more.
You could have rapped with Avalanche.
Wow.
I'm not musically inclined by any means.
Neither are most of the niggas that's rapping right now.
I'm saying that didn't stop him. So I mean, yeah,
Right, that ain't stopped none of these niggas, bro.
All right. Well,
Oh my gosh.
part of the reason that we have Keith on the show is because I wanted to do like I like trying to give shine to people that are locally here doing shit, and Keith has a movie that got named Assassin's Game.
A motion picture,
That
if
is
you will.
available on streaming services. It's definitely on Tubi right now and wherever.
Amazon Prime.
All
That's
that
lit.
shit. You can buy a copy, a physical copy, like I did some time ago. Mind you, I actually have a small background cameo role in this motherfucker, and one of my songs is used in the soundtrack. So he was that dope to, involve me in that way. But I mean, yes, it's a great, as I told Watts, this is a very good action film, especially done locally, with actors that are here in a lot of capacities. And I mean, they did some real legit work with all of the martial artists. I mean, well, I should say this. That's what I should ask also. In the movie, how many, because I know there had to be a good number of people that that actually are martial artists that ended up in the film, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one of the things about it. One of the other stars of the movie is Hakeem Sharif. The homeboy, he's playing a comic relief role within the movie, which I actually didn't expect. But yeah, tell us what the movie is about. I'm so not used to interviewing anybody, and I'm not really interviewing you, but I feel like, if you're going to do this, you
Hold on, wait. Before you even do that, in your initial statement, Vic, you said he directed a movie that has been named Assassin's Game. What was the original title?
Maximilian.
For sure. All right, let's continue.
Yeah, we'll let him explain.
Yeah,
why it's Assassin's Game
right.
now.
Because that gives us something to roll into right after his point.
So the movie is simply about 5 assassins being trapped in a warehouse and having to pretty much fight their way out. That's simple.
Perfect.
Yeah, it really is that simple. Like I said, it's
I didn't want to make something that was just deep or anything. It's like I'm. This movie is in the vein of like canon films.
right.
That's
just
literally
say what it was. You wanted an excuse to basically get all your martial arts friends together
And start-
to choreograph a bunch of fight scenes.
Fights, gunfights. That's literally what it was. We were like, hey, we want to get together and make this movie.
Because I'm not going to lie, because especially having watched it, because that was like, damn, that was like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
yeah. So it was like 2 years ago you watched it, and I'm like, yeah, I enjoyed it, and I'm just like, I don't know if this totally makes sense, but I kind of get it. But
like the storyline is from point A to point B. There, I tried to make it not hard. It's literally you go from here to the action, to here to the action, to here to the action.
So you feel like if you got reviewed on Cinema Sins, your sin count would be low.
Oh no.
yeah,
I mean, the only thing I'll say that I do get complimented on is people aren't bored when they watch it.
That's what's up.
They feel like it runs by fast.
What's the runtime?
It's an hour and 12 minutes.
Okay.
hour and 12 minutes.
Yeah, so he even went on the short side of making it a feature length without even having to overdo it.
Right.
Yeah. I just didn't want to do like certain cliche things that action movies do to make it longer. So I was just like,
Yeah, no padding the runtime with just bullshit.
Yeah, there definitely wasn't a lot of that because I'm like thankfully because of the fact that Hakeem's scenes as Maximilian's conscious was like they were entertaining and kind of like first setting it up and everything, and it was like that's pretty much other than that in between the other two the male and the female characters, that kind of assassins that are doing some of their dialogue, and then some of the other people behind the scenes, there wasn't a lot of stuff padded with that wasn't part of the action sequences.
It literally is like playing a video game. Like the action sequences are gameplay.
That's dope.
Cut scenes are, set up the gameplay. That's literally how the movie is set up.
How long did it take to shoot?
Technically 11 days.
Okay.
But that was through the course of like February to June.
Got you. Damn. Okay, I get it.
Yeah, so that was like June. Yeah, I guess when shot the scenes I was in, somewhere around there.
It was close to the end.
I knew I just came back from shooting my movie in Cali, and that was in May. So I know it was like right after that.
Yeah, that was close to the end of production.
Right.
I remember that.
Okay.
So how did distribution work?
Well, distribution
for your movie Maximilian. So what happened?
Right.
We ended up I sent it out to a couple distribution companies, and some didn't get back to me, some did. And we ended up choosing one. Who we chose was High Octane. High Octane got it out there. It's everywhere. And the only reason I feel like it was easy to pick up was because it was an action movie. That's it. It's just it's an action movie that's easy to get it out. But in terms of distribution, for me, it's been I'm gonna keep it at learning experience.
For sure.
I'm gonna say learning experience. So for my next movie, I'm weighing options. Let's just say.
Understood.
So make sure you don't leave out about why it was called Maximilian, and then how did we get to Assassin's Game?
Oh, so the way that works, Maximilian is the original name of the movie. It became Assassin's Game through the distribution company. They said that it would be able to push out the movie better and more, which I'm going to say that sort of did work. It just made people have assumptions of the movie that didn't exist, which was that it was tied to Assassin's Creed. And
niggas thought it was the sequel. It's crazy.
Yeah, people hated the movie because they said it had nothing to do with the video game, and because it has nothing to do with
But the wild part about it is Assassin's Creed, the movie was fucking trash too. So like it's like, nigga, you can feel however you want to feel, but like it's not connected to it. Nigga, did you enjoy what you actually did see? And nigga, since you such a fucking Assassin's Creed fan, I know you didn't enjoy that shit.
Yeah, that was the main complaint, that it was not like Assassin's Creed.
Hey, my dude, you know that Assassin's Creed game? They made a movie. It's called Assassin's Game. You need to check that shit out
for sure.
This ain't where that nigga what's his name, Enzio or whatever. Like there ain't nobody jumping off no rooftops though. What happened?
Oh man,
yeah,
it's interesting. Very interesting the response you get from people.
So was it the thing? Was it the thing that they had a conversation with you about, or did they just make the decision and let you know, like, oh yeah, when you go look for it, it's called this now? It
was sort of they let me know, and I was like, oh, okay. I was like, because I just wanted to see. I was like, well, will this make it sell? Like, what will it do?
Did they give it a chance first with the original title?
I think certain countries get the original title.
Okay.
That they feel, will be okay with it. But for the most part, they felt like it wouldn't get people's attention because it was a name.
Was this your first joint that you distributed like this, like on a large scale?
Yes. This is actually my first feature film, and it's a funny story even how I even came to make that movie, Assassin's Game. I was actually supposed to be writing this movie to be on a reality show on Robert Rodriguez's network, El Rey Network, and it was called oh gosh, it's almost the same. It's the same as his book called Rebel Without a Crew, and you were gonna make a movie by yourself. You get $7,000 budget, and you make your movie. You know, with the equipment. You live in a house with a mansion of filmmakers, and you're all trying to make this movie. And it was like they asked me, could I write a script in a week? And I was like,
"Ooh, shit."
I was like, oh, maybe. And then so I can't, I had this one sort of in the waiting. And then I went in, made some changes, and sent it to him. And then I went through this whole like interview process of multiple different times, gave them pictures, baby pictures, this, that, and the other. And then finally, they pretty much said, we'll maybe come back to you. And I had a script. And I was like, look, I called up a couple other filmmakers, other filmmaker in particular, Johnny Woo, and I said, hey, I have this script. Do you think we could make it? And he said, yeah. We went and just made it.
I feel like I know Johnny Woo from Clubhouse.
Probably do. Probably do. He's always there.
yeah, for sure.
Oh, I do want to tell you that Retro Jetro, well, if you haven't seen it, because that's why I try to keep up with the comments. He basically said, if this movie is Cheeks, he ain't gonna tell you because it's local. But he just wanted to be clear that if
But
it's
he said he gonna check it out though.
Right. So
You know
if
what
it's
I'm saying?
ass, he ain't gonna tell you.
My boy Jay Stu, what's popping, man? Good to see you, my guy.
You get used to it after a while. People telling you if it's bad or good. It is what it is, man. It is.
Well, we've been talking to Mr. Collins here about his film Assassin's Game, originally titled Maximilian, depending on what country you in, cough, as well as his martial arts background, which he will fuck you up with the Kempo. We also recapped Suicide Squad after seeing that. We briefly covered Werewolves Within, which only had one werewolf at the end, and we also covered how Suicide Squad has dramatically bombed and would be the biggest financial disappointment of any major multi-million-dollar blockbuster if it were not for the fact that, here's a new point, that Hugh Jackman's movie Reminiscence came out and made a whopping $2 million for its entire opening weekend. Making it inarguably the biggest fucking $100 million movie disaster flop since COVID started.
Wait. The budget
was almost 100
million,
and they made $2 million.
And this was on what?
That's
HBO Max and in theaters.
No, I'm saying what movie were we talking about?
Reminiscence.
Oh, Reminiscence. Okay.
Hugh
That's
Jackman's
almost
new show.
Waterworld levels.
Yeah. The crazy thing about it though, I watched it. Wasn't bad. Wasn't great, but wasn't bad. I like the concept. It pulled from a few other movies that exist. Kind of gave you the feeling of like a Minority Report, where they had the motherfuckers in the tank that could produce these visions of what was to come. This thing was you being able to go to this facility. And definitely able to go to this facility and lie in a tank, and then they access your memories, so you could actually completely relive those memories, the feelings, the touch, the taste, the smells. So people would go to them and pay to be able to go into their own specific memories of their choosing, which was kind of a dope thing. And then they will also use it even in criminal cases and court cases where they will put you in the tank and go into your memories, because then you can't lie about what actually happened.
That actually would be pretty dope, because then I would never have to use any of my personal porn ever again. I could just go
Facts
back into it. Like, yeah. Now I don't even remember what that angle looked like. Now I can look at it again.
Oh my God.
Also, Jay Stu, what he forgot to mention to you was that you also missed the opportunity to roast this motherfucker nitpicking ass Watts again for still going off on the same bullshit as before about the Suicide Squad. Yeah, he was on extra nitpicking today. You missed that. So anyway, continue.
For sure, I guess. Yeah, but that shit definitely did drag. You know what I'm saying? As my brother AM would say, yeah, the Reminiscence joint definitely it was dragging for the first hour. It was a little slow motion. When it finally did pick up, it was pretty dope. I did like the way they played into some of the transitions where there were a few scenes that were happening in the movie that you didn't realize were a nigga's memory until they woke up out the tank, and it was like, oh shit, okay, that's kind of dope. So like I said, it was a decent concept. It was a decent movie, but $2 million, it's bad.
So
It's
so
bad.
Reminiscence is in the theater too. That's what you're
Yes,
saying.
yes. So yeah, in the theater, the take home was $2 million for opening weekend.
That's
I don't even want to know what the second week numbers gonna look like. It'll probably make another couple 100,000
I'm gonna
perhaps.
be honest. I didn't see it promoted.
I
before it
didn't
even
either.
came out.
That's the problem. There was low key no promotion for it.
Yeah, like I literally just heard about it the week it came out.
Yeah.
On HBO Max.
Yeah, pretty much. So I saw it on HBO, and I watched it on
Like
HBO Max.
I put
Again,
up
not
HBO
making
Max
them
and
niggas
it
no
popped
money.
up on the screen, and I was like, "Oh, what's this?"
Exactly. So that's how I ended up encountering the movie. Even though I only saw of the maybe 6 pretty major reviewers online that I'll go to. I only saw like maybe 2 of them even bother to watch and review that joint. So that was that. I did see Candyman. I will say, without spoiling anything, it looks amazing. Seeing people of color shot by a person of color, lit well, looking right, was dope. And I feel like Pio definitely had his hand in that, even though this was Nina DaCosta's film.
But I'm sure that's definitely it, because that's why, as much as you hated Us, but overall, I like what he's trying to do in cinema of just saying, hey, here's some things with black folks in it that are actually done by black folks and don't necessarily have to be situated in our color, but just, hey, here's real representation.
Right.
Yes,
way.
definitely. And I can say, fortunately, in this was not a bunch of nigga shit. There's literally no nigga shit in this movie, even though
Well, you
the
know what?
majority of
That's,
people
that's
here are black.
funny because I saw. I didn't watch Double Toasted's review, but their caption and their thumbnail for it said "horror movie for bougie black people."
Absolutely.
So I was like, "Oh, okay." I kind of want to watch this review
yeah.
just to see what they say. So yeah, that matches, I guess.
No,
based on what you're
absolutely,
saying.
completely. This shit was definitely a horror movie for bougie niggas, bro. Wow. Absolutely. Everybody's an artist or an art critic or an art dealer or does some type of high prestige career.
Right.
Is everybody in the movie.
And that's cool, but that's also dope.
Facts.
Right.
No. Facts. Absolutely. So it has all these things going for it. She did amazing shit with the mirror and with anything that could cast a reflection. That is very well done, very well used. And by comparison to the first one, it's definitely a heavy slasher. Okay. It's a heavy slasher, but because of the fact that they use the mirrors, they do a lot of the kills off camera. So you're seeing bits and pieces of the kills because you're only seeing bits and pieces of Candyman because they're trying to kind of keep him out of the camera and in the mirror. So all of those things were fine.
I'm waiting for the butt.
I feel like this thing had everything going for itself and it had an amazing story at the center. And for whatever reason, they chose to tell a mediocre story on the outside of the good one that was there. And that is my issue with the movie. I felt like there was a solid story there and they told a different one, which is really the only bother that I have. Cinematography was great. Direction was great. I could not point out a poorly executed role. Everybody acted like a motherfucker. Like everybody delivered solid performances. I love Coleman Domingo. I'm a fucking fan. Yaya was great. I felt like everybody was solid in their performances. I just felt like the story was weak. And the thing that bothers me about it is the fact that the solid story was right there and they just didn't tell it though.
So what would you say the movie is in one word?
Booyah. See? I would say that it's decent. And so I wouldn't discourage anybody from going to see it.
Don't put your hopes
But
up high.
yeah, lower your expectations down going into it.
Okay.
And also understand that because most people haven't seen the original recently, it doesn't really hold up. It's not that great. So I can say that it's better than the first one, but unfortunately not much better because of the story.
I haven't seen the first one probably since it first hit cable back in the day. So,
Which would have been like 94.
yeah, somewhere around there.
I love the first one, actually.
I still love it too, but I think I love it more for nostalgia than anything else.
Right.
Because it had that psychological element to it.
It's not a traditional horror movie.
Yeah, she was going fucking nuts. She was waking up around bodies and not knowing if she did it or if he did it.
Right.
And I get that. This was definitely directly people saying Candyman 5 times and him appearing and fucking him up. It wasn't even no doubt or question. You know what I'm saying? There was genuinely one moment where it was like, oh shit, is it Candyman or is it him? One moment. And I was disappointed that we only got that one time. There's still some of the psychological aspects to it. But like I said, it's really more so leaning into a heavy slasher. But with the R rating, granted, you wanted to do the creative shit using the mirrors, et cetera, so on and so forth. But I feel like it was almost overdone where we weren't fully seeing what was happening.
Would you say, based on what you saw, it was a direct sequel to the first one compared to the others?
They pretty much ignored the other ones after the first one. And it is a direct sequel because we saw in the trailer that they heavily allude to the fact that Yaya's character is the baby that got abducted in the first one.
Right.
And with that being said, there is a dope story there that directly would have connected him to Candyman. And that's the story that they chose not to tell.
And that's the story actually in my mind that I wanted.
For sure.
That's the story I wanted.
And that's
so
the problem.
So now I need to put my expectations low.
For sure.
Got you.
For sure. They
That's
definitely
the story
tell
in my
a
mind.
different
That's
one.
what I wanted.
Same here. And that's what I expected. Even with lowered expectations. And what I saw going into it was people saying that the ending was kind of abrupt and they didn't really stick the landing. And I also agreed with that. It was just okay.
Okay.
Because at that point, at the point where it ended, I definitely did want more because I felt like, all right, now we're kind of, maybe now they're stepping onto the path that they should have been on. And it was like, yeah, you thought so, nigga, credits. Like, all right, cool.
So maybe they're continuing on this path. They're pulling a Halloween. Maybe they're going to keep going.
Maybe. And the theater was packed decently enough for me to feel like it'll probably make some decent money this weekend. And of course, the opening weekend is going to be one thing. It'll probably be number one. I don't think it's opening against shit else this weekend heavy. Free Guy is going to be the only thing that'll probably even get remotely close, but this is his third weekend now, so it'll probably be in the 10 million or a little bit lower range for what that brings in. And next week, I mean, it definitely will drop from number one when Shang-Chi comes out. Putting it in a place where, granted it's horror and it's rated R, so it's definitely had its own audience to it. it'll still probably do decent. It's just going to depend on what the word of mouth is.
Okay. I plan on seeing it.
Boom. Jay Stu agrees with me. Nigga.
Yeah, when you ain't doing too much, doing the extra shit.
Well, it's just I couldn't go into the details and the spoilers. Maybe I need to just start giving my opinion without all the detail, and y'all will feel me.
Maybe.
Yeah, and we got her. She's directing the Marvels, so the technical Captain Marvel 2.
Okay.
So we get to see what she can do with that kind of shit, and with that like tried and tested formula that Marvel delivers.
Yeah, we're gonna see what happened there. We with that Shang Chi.
Yeah.
Waiting for that,
That Shang Chi.
That Shang Chi. I'm waiting for that, boy.
Yeah, we'll see what that talking about right there, boy. That Shang Chi.
They were doing some Chapatsuki in there, boy.
Yeah. Okay, so real quick, new Eternals trailer.
I don't give a fuck.
Did you watch it though?
Of course I did.
I actually
don't
liked
give
it.
a fuck. Man,
I liked it better than the first one. That first trailer was ass.
That's you know what, I was about to make another
I haven't watched
sexual
the
reference and I'm not.
trailer.
But so what? You act like it was something so much more special about that one. Yeah, it was better than the other one, but so what really happened? What made it so special? Are you that much more pumped to go see it now?
I was never pumped to go see it.
Exactly.
But now I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go.
You were gonna go anyway.
But before I was like, I mean, I'm gonna go.
He's going out.
But now I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go. It's two different things. You know what I'm saying? Definitely two different things. No Way Home trailer, finally.
Well, we were going to get to that. I mean, I feel like that deserves its own little pocket of conversation. So, I mean, still. So, Shang-Chi, even though still coming up. So, I mean, do you feel any different about that?
Yes, because all the reviews say that this shit is phenomenal. All of them.
You know what? I think I didn't watch any videos on that. Like, I got the impression that somebody had a problem, and then I was going to. No, I did watch a video or two, and they didn't make it seem like it was phenomenal. I think I watched Jeremy John shit, and he was like, it was cool, and he had some issues with some of it, but he was still giving it positive review. But whatever.
But like Campius, Stuckman, 3C.
Campius. He is fucking.
Well, yeah, I can't take Campius' word on this one because Campius said that this shit was better than Endgame, and I was like, stop it.
Right. Plus, he also thinks the Suicide Squad is phenomenal.
Well, everybody thought the Suicide Squad was phenomenal. I'm literally the only nigga who has said that this shit ain't great.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Like on planet Earth. So I know I'm in the minority, like the vast minority here. I always question him because the nigga says Man of Steel is like top 5 comic book movies of all time, and I'm like, nigga, stop it.
Cause he like that big hairy chest, Henry Cavill. That's what it's really about. Like them sweaty mens.
Right.
Yeah.
It's all about these sweaty mens wearing these little tight muscle suits, and they aliens.
And the way that bull just look up there when he's saving the world, I swear to God.
My boy Blaine. So
well, I guess if that's the case, or are we picking so like who are you, Blaine or Antoine Merriweather?
Damn, that's tough, man.
I'm just saying, I guess we got to pick one. I guess whatever. I guess by default I would be Antoine Merriweather.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with David Allen Greer, thus David. Yeah, I'm going to go.
Makes sense. So yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm hyped because but the reviews are good. I haven't seen any just bad reviews coming out of it, and I had absolutely no expectation for it because it looked super weak to me initially. So I'm gonna go. Yeah, Jay Stu, you are right on point with it. The theory game is crazy with the No Way Home trailer, but watching them breakdowns, we do see the lizard. We do see electricity. We know Electro's in it, so you know whatever. We do see the goblin, the pumpkin bomb. We do see Alfred Molina. So we know for a fact that, I mean, what I've seen people theorizing as far as other villains we've seen, potentially Sandman, but I'm not convinced or sold on that one. There is a shot where you can see the lizard. So we got the lizard, we got Electro, we got Green Goblin, and we got, who was that fourth one? Doc Ock. Yeah. So we know for a fact we got 4 villains in this joint. Pretty obvious that that this could be a Sinister Six thing.
I was thinking that Sinister Six.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that nobody's bringing up that I think you probably have to take into consideration. Nobody is talking about. God damn it, I don't know old boy's real name, but Ned having lost all that weight, and in the trailer they're still showing Fat Ned. Mm-hmm. But I believe that whole Hobgoblin thing is going to come up, and it's going to be him in his new body.
Yeah, but the thing is, that pumpkin bomb specifically, they use Willem Dafoe's laugh,
yes, but again,
and showed the
misdirection, misdirection, motherfucking Mr. Magician, misdirection.
I guess
I'm telling you, that's my theory. I'm not like riding hard on this, but I think they're showing you the obvious or what you think is the obvious, and it's going to end up being something else. Like
it was only mostly obvious because the design was the exact same as the pumpkin bombs from Willem Dafoe.
Hobgoblin is still an offshoot of Green Goblin
for sure.
So I'm almost betting you that I think Willem Dafoe is going to play some part in it, but he's not really going to necessarily be there as the Green Goblin.
For sure.
I'm almost thinking they're going to throw a curveball at you and somehow.
So he may somehow provide potentially the Hobgoblin.
Right. Because obviously we already know, like he's talking about that shit that Doc Ock talking about, hello, Peter. And like, yeah, you assume he's talking to Tom Holland, even though those scenes were obviously not the same.
Right.
Within that. So he's talking to one of the other Spider-Man, or assuming he's talking to Tobey Maguire. So
right.
I think this, knowing how they do shit, this trailer was nothing but a whole bunch of fucking misdirection.
No, yeah. I think so too. Yeah. Just like in the Civil War trailer, there was the shot where Spider-Man appears and he wasn't in that motherfucker in the first trailer, but the second trailer, in that exact same shot, he's there.
Right.
So it was like, oh, well, shit.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I agree. I think in the one shot, because we're talking about the multiverse, etc., in that one shot in the trailer when Doctor Strange hit Peter with the hand in the chest and his astral form blows out the body, he blows out in normal clothes, like fully astral. I think there's the potential for him to end up physically embodying the other Spider-Man and not necessarily being directly on screen with them, where he may be inside Tobey Maguire. Pause.
I was trying to enjoy the moment until you gonna tell me pause. Yeah.
And that may be why, and that could put him in a scenario where he is, Doc Ock is seeing him as Peter, but he's not the Peter that Doc Ock knows inside.
That's a decent.
I don't know, bro. I don't want it to be the case, but it's possible.
And it is possible. I mean, I didn't think about anything like that, but you know what? That could be possible. Just because of if everybody's perspective is off and you're seeing something different, but I don't think that they would. I'm thinking that they wouldn't really waste that potential to not have multiple Spider-Man on screen.
No, absolutely. But what I'm saying is, of course, Toby and Andrew both denying it still. Andrew more adamantly than Toby is, but they both denying it. But so the thing is, if
basically got kind of caught out there,
for sure,
right? So that's why I'm like, nah,
I'm just saying,
he's involved.
If they don't have them, having him thrust into the world where he is embodying the Spider-Man of these different worlds, then it would make sense that they still see him as just Peter, as Spider-Man.
Right. Well, I feel you. But like I said, the only thing that I've ever thought about, like I said, that hardcore is that with them not explaining the fact that he went through that whole regimen and lost all that weight, that Ned Hobgoblin shit is, I do believe, is going to come up in this.
Agreeable.
And I'm almost thinking that that pumpkin bomb is not going to be from who we assume it is.
For sure. Well, shit. Yeah, man.
We could be wrong, but the one thing I want to do is that, especially if we're still going along with this, is that I want to do like the shit that other pundits of this realm and everything don't do is that once we see the shit, we actually address how wrong or right we were.
We gonna do that
because nobody ever does that shit. It's like they come up with all these theories and then nobody ever says, "Yeah, I was wrong as fuck."
No, we can definitely do that. We can definitely, absolutely do that. That'd be cool. And come revisit. I guess before we get up out of here, is there anything else that we should be covering?
Not anything necessarily in particular. I mean, by all means, like we don't have to end unless we just are ending.
Oh, I mean, I ain't trying to hit niggas over the head with the super extendo episode and just drag.
Well, I
topics.
feel you, but at the same time, this is one of those situations of we haven't been on for 2 episodes.
This is true.
When shit be getting good and we be good for going longer. It's like, hey, why you trying to rush now? Why you trying to hurry up and bust your nut? Are you in pain? Is it throwing you off?
No. I mean, like I said, I just don't particularly. I don't have anything else major that I feel like we need to cover.
There's stuff that we can bring up because, like I said, I have a question of the curveball, you motherfuckers. Just like you try to do me outside of that, but you sounding like a real hooker now. Like, hurry up, come on, let's finish, baby. come on. I'm gonna need you to hurry up and finish. So anyway, because of the fact that this is sort of, because first of all, we haven't even talked about what if. So you already fucking up there.
You're right. We haven't
touched what if yet. So I was gonna say, because of the fact that Keith is here, action oriented. I don't want to say, no. I'm gonna make it more difficult, like you do.
Okay.
Top 3 favorite action movies, I guess.
Top 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Top 3 favorite action. The Raid 2 is automatically there. That's not even a question.
Yeah, the Raid 2 is definitely there. I'd probably say Raid 2. Can I put Raid 1 and 2 together and just say the Raid series?
You can say whatever the fuck you want to do.
Raid series.
This is our show. You do what you want to do.
I'd probably say John Wick is up there.
I was gonna say John Wick too, but I was just trying to figure out which
3.
one. Yeah, I think I'm gonna say 3 as well.
I'm gonna pull away from those 2, and I'm gonna say Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
I should have known.
I respect it on so many levels.
Yeah.
Damn. I am going to just stay in a pocket and say Ong Bak.
Yeah.
I feel like that's respectable.
Yeah.
I feel like I'll go John Wick 3, Ong Bak, and The Raid.
I think those are
Or the series together. But yep, that'll be it for me. Vig, what you got?
I don't know. Some of my, like I said, I
that's a
didn't.
good one.
I didn't really. Which one?
Go over. Go over. One more. Come on, where'd it go? There was that one. Upgrade.
Oh, Upgrade. Yeah.
Oh
right.
my God,
Well,
Upgrade was
we
so
loved
good.
Upgrade, but yeah, that's
Yeah.
So I mean,
So
probably
underrated.
offhand. I mean, like I said, I'm not gonna really make a big deal about this. I'm just gonna kind of throw 3 things out. I'm thinking about it. So, one for me would probably be True Lies.
Okay.
Shit, I just had something else on the tip of my tongue that was kind of there that I want to fuck with, but yeah, True Lies is definitely one of them. I kind of want to say I was kind of leaning toward either Die Hard 1 or With a Vengeance, but I guess I just like those movies, but I'm not necessarily going to say it's my top action movies. Probably in my influence for way back in the 90s, especially when John Woo was really making his entrance here. Yeah. And when I ended up getting hip to Hard Boiled is definitely up there for me because they talked that up and I ended up renting that shit. And just from the very beginning, Chow Yun Fat sliding down the railing and just popping off of them 45s, it's like, yeah, that definitely had
that 45-minute ending. That was one of the best action sequences.
Yeah, so if I'm picking, I'm gonna say Hard Boiled. I'm gonna say True Lies. I'm just kind of scrolling through some things here to see if something just sparks me to be like, yeah, this is definitely one of my
That's it.
my faves. Damn, I'm trying to think. I don't want to say Smoking Aces, but there's something that's reminding me of Smoking Aces where I'm like, how is this not one of my favorite ones? And I'm forgetting about it. To a certain degree, even for as trashy as it is at times, I really enjoyed, especially upon first seeing Bad Boys 2.
Bad Boys 2.
Like, there's something about, obviously, we know Michael Bay can do action well.
Yes.
And that's just one of the things where, like, even though if the rest of it is trash, there was a lot that I liked about Bad Boys 2, especially between the big chase, the shit on the freeway. Like, by the time they started throwing cars, I really honestly enjoyed that scene.
I'm not gonna lie, like I enjoyed Bad Boys too, but there was a point in the movie where I thought it was over and it wasn't.
Yeah, that shit went on for a while. It definitely went on for longer than it should have.
Like I was like, oh, it's about to end, and it kept
Like Return
going.
of the King.
Bruh, I don't remember anything from either of the other two Lord of the Rings movies. Like, I remember liking Fellowship, and everything else to me was kind of overrated. They're gonna come for you. They're gonna drag you, bro. Anyway,
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, but like I said, not that I disliked them, but like I said, but Fellowship really stood out to me in a lot of ways where I really enjoyed it, but I wasn't really so much into the other ones. But yeah, Bad Boys 2 definitely went on. Like, the whole thing about the time that they went to Cuba was just like extra.
Yeah,
It was
I
like,
felt
yeah.
like they added that on.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, Michael Bay is known for overextending because I mean, all them damn Transformers movies didn't need to be like 2.5 hours either.
Yeah.
And god damn it, they were. And they just kept getting worse.
Oh yeah, definitely. Did y'all address the chat? Jay Stu dropped in with The Dark Knight, Bad Boys 2, and The Matrix.
Oh damn. I did not. Yeah, see, I didn't even see that Jay Stu even mentioned Bad Boys 2. So yeah.
The Matrix, yes.
Like I
I
said,
actually forgot. I mean, not necessarily forgot The Matrix, but like
The Matrix.
I'm frustrated waiting for this after CinemaCon this week and everybody talking about how crazy the trailer was. I'm really ready to see it. I expected them to drop it after showing it, but they still have not given it to us yet. But the thing that I don't like is that they've replaced Morpheus with Yahya, even though
oh, that's what happened?
yes. So Yahya is Morpheus now, and Keanu apparently has kept the John Wick look, so he still has the long hair and the goatee. And they still, of course, have Trinity in the joint too. So they have those two reprising their roles, and Yahya replacing Lawrence. And I don't understand why.
That doesn't
Is
make sense at all.
Morpheus, or is he Morpheus-like?
No, they said it's Morpheus. Everybody coming out of CinemaCon in the trailer said that he's Morpheus and that he presented the pills to Neo in this trailer. Yeah, I don't understand.
So,
Well,
you know what? If that's the case, if he's presenting the pills to him, then they're doing some type of revamp in a way that we don't understand yet.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to reserve judgment.
and the
until
Wachowskis,
we see it.
to me, they hit weird. Like after what Cloud Atlas, and
Yeah, for
Jupiter
sure.
Ascending, like so I don't know what they're coming up with at this point.
I don't know.
Yeah, I checked out a while ago.
I am. I mean, like I said, I want to see it. I'm interested. This was the thing. Real quick, I was having a conversation with one of the homies the other day, and he was like, "Yo, so Keanu is in a particular class that there are not very many actors that fall into. He has now with this year 2 franchises successful with 4 movies each."
That's true.
Because we get John Wick 4 and Matrix 4. And it's like, how many other actors have 2 4-film or more franchises? And I had to think hard as shit. And the only person I came up with was Harrison with Star Wars and and Indy.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But that's dope though.
Wow. No, you're right.
And even still, that's even more. It's not arguable, but I mean, Harrison is definitively the star of the indie
of indie
movies.
joints, right?
Right, but he's not. He's one
The
of the
star, right? He's not the star
Right.
of Star Wars.
He's not the
Just
main
saying,
focus.
but he is a star of the franchise.
Right.
So I give it to him.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's why Keanu gets it over him still in that
Yeah.
sense. Is he's the main character.
star, right.
So the only thing I was thinking of, I was trying to think of if Schwarzenegger had anything like that, and
I can't even think of
I
a
think
sequel
he's
he was
lacking
in.
because other than Terminator movies, I don't think he went that far with anything else. He just had a bunch of one-offs.
Yeah,
that
he-
Oh, you know what? Sylvester. Would
well,
that
I
be
started to
mentioned?
say. Well, I was going to say
Because he
Sylvester,
got
but
Rambo and Rocky.
Oh, you're right. I couldn't think. I was
yeah.
thinking Rocky, but I was like, what else does Sylvester have? And
Rambo.
I was trying to
Rambo.
focus on Schwarzenegger first. So
Yeah.
you're right.
Rambo.
So yeah. So yes, Sylvester Stallone. Definitely is in
Actually, he's actually on the verge of
that. 3 because
of 3 because Expendables.
I knew you were.
Expendables.
So yeah.
Right.
If they pull that bitch off, he'll be the new champion.
Yeah, you're right.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like I said, everybody doesn't get that, so you're right.
Yeah. I mean, of course, Vin Diesel and family. He got you know what I'm saying? He got Fast and Furious. How many Riddicks are there?
Is there 3 now?
No, there's definitely 3.
There's 3. So yeah.
Family. It's all about family. Yeah, because there's Pitch Black, Chronicles of Riddick, and Riddick,
And then just Riddick, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
with the possibility of him doing a 4th.
That's a prestigious club right there.
Yeah,
My nigga say Untouchables.
yeah, he meant Expendables,
right?
Yeah, so there's nobody else. I don't think even coming close to that, especially with. Yeah, because not even Jean-Claude Van Damme, because the only thing he has that has multiples is Universal Soldier.
Right.
But Universal Soldier, was he in the sequel? He was in the sequel. That was
Yeah, he was in 2
the
sequels.
sequel.
Yeah, he would because there was like Universal Soldier, then there was Universal Soldier 2 that he wasn't in. Then there was
Right.
Universal Soldier: The Return that
Okay.
he came back in,
Okay.
and then he did another one as well where I think it was another one. There was at least one other one where Dolph Lundgren came back too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No,
think
yeah. Dolph Lundgren, like, actually low key took the franchise over.
Right. Which makes sense.
Yeah.
Shout out to Dolph Lundgren. He doesn't get enough props.
He actually doesn't. He actually doesn't. You're right.
Especially to be a motherfucker that kickboxes and is a chemist. And nobody gives him props for that shit. Like, he is really underrated. Like, he gets treated like the dumbest motherfucker, and this nigga is like a fucking scientist for real.
Yeah.
That's true.
So
It was a horror movie he was in. It was really good. It had something to do with demons.
that sounds familiar. I can't think of what it was.
I said last time I seen that nigga was in Aquaman.
It was like Don't Look something. I can't remember. He was like a gun-toting like demon killer.
Oh, that's lit.
Yeah, he's played
really
so
good.
much other B movie stuff. Because I remember back in the day seeing what was that Showdown in Little Tokyo with him and Brandon
This
Lee.
was rather new.
Yeah, I can believe it. But yeah, I'm just thinking of like the last thing I've really seen. Well, that wasn't the last thing I saw, but yeah, I mean, he's been around for a minute. Like I said, not really getting his props on the B movie side. Because we always talk, people always bring up Steven Seagal and shit like that, even though nobody's really watching that shit.
The nigga literally just brought him up in the comments.
Oh, really?
No
That's
bullshit.
twice. That's twice. Right.
That's funny as fuck. I don't think he has any. I don't think he has 2 or more 4 movie franchises.
Nah, he
and
doesn't.
even if so, them bitches ain't successful.
Don't Kill It. That's the name
Don't
of the
Kill
movie.
It. Okay.
Don't Kill It.
Well, yeah, that doesn't really count. Yeah, actually, that's my brother in there that's talking that. My oldest brother.
Oh yeah, my partner say Super Cop
Well,
and Winter Soldier.
yeah, and Steven Seagal, he only has Under Siege 1 and 2, and then everything else, it's not.
It's not a sequel.
Yeah,
it's a
they're not
one-off.
sequels or anything.
No,
they
no,
play
no,
the
no,
same
no.
character.
He plays the same character. That's all.
Did we cover Winter Soldier on the action side?
Well, see, even still, Winter Soldier, yes, it's action wise, it's up there. But I mean, again, I always count Civil War more because I just think a lot of those action sequences, especially choreographed, were better in a lot of ways. Because when I think of Winter Soldier, I think of first showing up on the ship, Then I think
I was so
the
impressed.
fight between him and Winter Soldier when
On
they
the
were
bridge.
where they filmed in downtown Cleveland. I think of that, but I don't really think of anything else like that with Winter Soldier.
I want to say the action sequences were better in Civil War, but I feel like the fight
but there was
sequences
more.
were really good in Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
Right.
Because I think the thing that comes to my mind right away in Civil War is when they running in the streets and going fast.
Exactly.
That immediately comes to my mind.
Exactly.
Like the action sequences are more set pieces, whereas in Winter Soldier the fights were nice.
Yeah.
They were nice.
yeah. I was definitely super impressed with the way with that opening joint on the ship, because I really didn't at that point. I really didn't like Captain America.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I
It
agree.
was just like,
That's
like
exactly
I guess.
how I felt.
So to see him
When he kicked that dude straight off the boat,
bruh, it
that-
was
that
just
got my attention.
out
That got my
the
attention.
game. And I'm like, yo, this shit is different. This is not the same fucking old man from the 50s. Like, yo, he was fucking niggas up.
And nobody talks about all the Captain America murder. But anyway.
No, they don't. No, they don't. Because he's kicking him in the chest for freedom, nigga.
America.
Right, you know what I'm saying? With Merca in mind, you know what I'm saying? You gotta kill him.
Like I say, do you know what happens to someone that gets dropped off in the middle of the fucking ocean?
No. Do you know what happens to someone who gets a super soldier kick in the middle of the chest into the ocean, nigga?
Right.
That nigga already went, nigga. Could you imagine hitting the water winded?
Right. Oh shit.
Oh my god.
Like my chest hurt and I'm about to drown.
Freedom. You can be a great swimmer. You can't breathe though,
can't
nigga.
breathe.
You are out of there. Nigga, you could be hitting your finest breaststroke, nigga. You are still not getting there.
Because he hit that railing first.
Yeah,
He had
right.
to break a rib or two before
Oh,
he
for
made
sure.
it down there.
Yeah, he was fucking them niggas up. It was great.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. Oh, murder.
Man. Yeah.
Anyway.
Right. Oh, American murder.
Wow.
Fucking pirates, man.
They deserved it.
Yeah.
Freedom.
Freedom.
All right.
Which isn't free. Cost
a
folks
$1.05.
like you and me. And if you don't pay your $1.05, who will? My nigga. Oh, Jesus. Okay. Anything else, fellas?
$1.05. What if?
$1.05. What if the first episode wasn't boring? Because that shit was pretty direct retelling. Caved in chest with lungs full of water. Great way to die.
Right.
Facts. But yeah, first episode was okay.
Man, that's what I'm about to say. You said it was boring. I'm like, no, it was pretty decent. I mean, yeah, even though the fact it was just a retelling of.
I was really just
First
hoping
Avenger.
that wasn't what every episode was going to be. It was just a fucking direct retelling of one of the movies that we already saw.
I was sure that it wasn't going to be. Like I said, I think that one was a little bit different because What If comics were never really so much about retelling anything. It was just putting it different scenarios, and that seems to be what they were doing for the next two episodes after. So I mean,
sure.
yeah, the first one just with, Captain Carter, with her getting the super soldier serum instead of, Cap, and then the fact that they made it a little bit better with the fact that, with goddamn Howard Stark making that suit for him. So it was almost like you got
Which I already have a Funko Pop of on the other side of the room.
Yeah, you would.
The Hydra Stomper. It's
Right.
huge. It's
so
ridiculous.
it's basically like you have World War II Iron Man with Steve Rogers in it, and you have, Captain Carter. So I mean, the action was pretty on point. So I mean, I wasn't mad at it. It wasn't overly interesting, but I mean, yeah, it was solid. I
Only
wasn't mad.
disappointing, honestly, I enjoyed it. The only disappointing point in it for me was when Bucky didn't fall on the train, but Steve did. And I thought that we were going to get Steve as the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, but I
And
think
I was
that would've
lightweight
been-
hype.
That would have been a little bit too much telegraph, though. And that was the whole thing. I'm glad they didn't do that.
It would have been sweet.
Maybe. But I mean, again, the fact that they didn't do that made it better just with them.
No. Because
throwing you
the thing is,
curveball.
I didn't want it in that episode. I would have wanted it to come down the line.
Yeah, I feel you, but I don't think they're doing continuations of anything. If they ain't solved this in 30 to 40 minutes, That's it.
I
It's
feel
a
you.
done deal.
Second episode, T'Challa as Star-Lord, just showing that he's just much better than Peter Quill in every way. Because people actually know the Star-Lord name. People actually revere the Star-Lord name.
You have to think about this, though. It's right there in front of you. Think, black man. It's a black man from Africa getting taken to space in the same way that this white man got taken. So why would he not be better? We know that the black man is genetically superior over the white man. So why would he not be a better Star-Lord? Star-Lord, the people of the sun. We are the people of the sun. We are the lords. We come from Mother Africa. Star-Lord, I'm in space. I'm from Africa. Think, Mark. So yeah. Fire. Anyway.
Yeah, it definitely was an interesting take on it. I felt like it was dope. Solid, much better episode by comparison to me. It was good to hear Chadwick. It was actually good to hear most of the original cast come back and reprise the roles and actually do the voice work.
Right.
Them having Thanos on the team as a Ravager was fucking great to me and unexpected. Didn't know that was going to happen. And then to see them go on a mission together against like the fucking super collector was, it was just all solid. Seeing Gamora untorn the fuck apart and machined up. I mean, not Gamora, but Nebula was dope. Just overall, and that story being able to eventually, get to a point of having just seeing how great T'Challa was, even without the serum, even without having his entire upbringing be the regal royal shit. Like just seeing like the type of person that he was. It kind of reminded me of the King Arthur joint, where it was like the Guy Ritchie joint from a couple years ago, where it was like he didn't get raised in the kingdom. He did, but he still had so much drive, and just the person that he was on the inside drove him to be so great that it lent to him eventually being able to take over the kingdom. Like same type shit.
Right. Yeah, I have no complaints about it. I wasn't overly interested in it, but I mean, yeah, I do like the fact that they just went another route with stuff, and like I said, that still made it better and just it made it more rewatchable for me because again, like since they didn't do a retelling of anything, it does have better replayability.
For sure. Only thing that low key fucked me up was Peter finally being shown at the end, and like without him getting taken by the Ravagers, his life amounted to janitor at Dairy Queen. Like nigga, like that was what he was doing. I'm like, yo, you were better off getting kidnapped, my nigga.
Well, I mean, he was from Missouri. All right, that's fucked up. I'm sorry, Missouri people.
Nigga, Missouri is going to hate us forever behind that, nigga.
Could have been worse. I only
You
made
fellas
one
can't come do that there podcast in Missouri. Yeah, we out of there.
Nelly mad as fuck right now.
Who just dropped an album, by the way. Just wanted to let you guys know so you could also not listen to it. Episode 3, I ain't gonna lie, I didn't really like it.
I'm sure. So yeah, of course, also to not spoil this. So episode 3 is a murder mystery episode where basically it goes back to Iron Man 2. So it starts off with when Black Widow is giving Tony the shot in the neck to get rid of the techno virus shit he has going on. He ends up dying. And then basically a couple more people that you know of, like Bruce Banner gets killed, or no, I'll say the Hulk gets killed because that's actually what it is. So Hulk gets killed, Hawkeye gets killed, Black Widow eventually gets killed. Who else? Thor gets killed. So all these people got killed.
Bullshit.
Right. So it was like, who did it? So I'm not going to tell you who did it, but it was kind of a disappointment only because of the fact that they didn't really do a good job setting this up for it to make sense.
Realistically, Thor dying period just was stupid to me. I like how they found a way to kill Hulk.
Yeah.
That made sense.
Right.
But the Thor death was absolute bullshit. Because because to me that says that a nigga who literally got his eye gouged the fuck out, nigga, who survived a ship exploding, floated in space for who the fuck knows how long, and didn't die, could have been killed by the weakest nigga on the team this whole time.
So whoever holds this hammer should possess the power of Thor. Remember, he wasn't worthy, and he got sent there as just a regular guy. You forgot about that.
Okay.
Remember, he got tased in the beginning of the Thor movie that you don't like, by the way. So he got tased. He got a shot in his ass that knocked him out. Everything about him was completely regular human in Thor 1. And that's where he gets killed in this What If episode.
Okay.
It was basically
You're
like
right.
it was in
That
Thor
is
1.
the point where he dies. Okay.
I'm sure if I didn't say that, and I'm sure if Jay Stu was listening, I'm sure he was about to come back in, fired the fuck up when you about that shit. So yeah, that's why it was like, okay, it was fair, because like, yeah, there was nothing that was immortal about it.
You're right there. But yeah, the whodunit, the reveal was pretty weak for me. But I can say I'm still gonna watch the rest of these joints. Just not super hype about them.
Well, I feel that, but again, I was never super hyped about it anyway, just because of the fact that it's still always going to be hit or miss in whether or not, if you care about the subject matter or however the execution is going to come off, it's going to be whatever it is. But I mean, I'm going to watch them, but it's not like back in the day of saying, oh yeah, you know, like a new episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier or Loki's coming on, or WandaVision, where it's like, oh, I got to watch it as soon as it's live. It's like, no, I've been watching them. In fact, I watched the last 2 episodes together, so that shows you. I went a whole week without even watching episode 2.
Got you.
And so I watched them back to back this week. So yeah, it's going to be like that, where I'll catch it or whatever. But you know, it's not like narrative wise you have to keep up and worry about a bunch of people spoiling, like I said, outside of this last episode. So it's not quite the same, since they're not following the narrative amongst each other.
We still got Party Thor coming up in the episode. We got Supreme Doctor Strange coming up in an episode, and we also have Warlord Gamora coming up with the fucking 2-sided sword from Endgame that Thanos had, and rocking the full Thanos armor. So definitely want to see what else they are going to end up doing. And we get a different version of the Avengers in like the either last episode or episode before last. So I'm interested to see that. Star-Lord, T'Challa is supposed to come up at least 2 more times before this shit is all said and done.
Okay.
So like I said, I'm definitely gonna watch the shit and see how it all plays out, and see if some of these episodes actually do end up interconnecting, and then try to figure out what they are going, because they've already said that some of this shit that they introduce in this show, in this series, will end up rolling into the live action universe.
Well, we'll see how that works.
Pretty fucking much.
Right.
Keith, you got anything else you want to cover?
Nothing that comes to mind.
Make sure that y'all go stream that Assassin's game, baby.
Yeah.
Check that joint out on Tubi and on Amazon Prime.
And be on the lookout for my new one, Rumble TV. Hopefully be coming later this fall or next year in spring.
Okay. That's cool.
Yeah, more action shit.
And y'all actually will get to hear us talking about it, because we gonna get to see it before you motherfuckers. Bitch, we out here clip walking. You already know what it is. Blerds and clips, banging on all things pop culture, cuz. Vic, anything else you want to cover before we wrap it up?
Rash on my balls. Probably should have someone look at it, but I'm a man, so I'll tough it out. It's fine.
Yeah, man. All you got to do, players, put some icy hot on it.
Some tussin'.
Tussin'. Get the rubbing alcohol.
Well, yeah, I'm about to say. Get the rubbing alcohol.
Shout out to Tony Baker one time, man. Damn. Just not gonna be sad for my nigga. Just Shout out to Tony Baker, man.
Right.
Jeez. All right, man. Well, that's going to wrap it up for another fire episode. Actually, episode 21. We legal to drink around this bitch, y'all. It's going. Buttons.
Yeah. Don't hit the mic.
I just socked the mic with no mercy. Yeah, man. Listen, I appreciate y'all tuning in with us, tapping in with us as always. If you got questions, concerns, comments, make sure you send them shits over to us at blerdsandclips@gmail.com. Make sure you follow the gang. You see the names down here at the bottom if you're watching us live. If you're not watching us live, why not, my nigga? Tune in with us every Saturday when we stream the show live over on Twitch. We also on Facebook. We also on YouTube. And again, if you're an Amazon Prime user watching on Twitch, you can subscribe and pay your boys for the free. No cost to you, but help pay me, nigga, please. Of course, as always, y'all can follow me at BKA Watts, and you can follow my mans
Figatron 999.
And you can follow our special guest
At what is it? Kiko II. That's what they say. Or Kikoi on Instagram.
Spell that.
Right, they can help.
KEICOII.
Got you. Make sure y'all following the squad. We appreciate y'all. And of course, follow the podcast page itself, Blerds and Clips. As always, love, peace, and chicken grease. We appreciate y'all tapping in with us. We'll catch y'all on the next one of these things. You know what I'm saying? Just wash your hands and, wear your mask and things of the sort. I ain't going to tell you what to do with your life, but I'm just letting you know that COVID ain't no hoe and they do got hands.
Yeah, definitely at least try to wash your hands and stop touching your fucking face.
Yeah, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? But again, ladies, trying to lose 20 pounds. Go ahead and see what that COVID talk about what time. We appreciate y'all. Catch y'all on the next one of these things. We up out there, bitch.